Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Beth Ann, and today I want to talk, hopefully briefly, about this book, Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too, by Jonny Sun. And I guess this is I guess I'll call it a graphic novel, but or comics. I mean, it's very short, but there is a plot. So in this book, we follow this cute little alien who has been deposited on Earth by his fellow aliens, and he is supposed to study humans and find out what humans are all about. But the book starts off with a very adorable misunderstanding because he walks up to a tree and says, hello, human, and the tree talks to him. And so for much of the book, he thinks everything are humans, and I don't know if like spoilers count for something like this. That's just very poignant comics about life and human nature with very little plot, but I'll try not to give spoilers. But anyway, so he comes across all these animals, the tree, flowers and things, and thinks they're all humans, which I think is really lovely. And I don't know what the author's intent was, but to me says something about the interconnectedness of all life in a way that's really nice. But yeah, so the little alien is supposed to be studying humans, and so he's asking everyone, everyone meaning the trees and the animals and everything, just sort of questions about what they do and who they are. And there are just some really poignant themes throughout this book. So one of them is in various guises, all of these creatures will answer him with or he'll sort of be processing their answers and putting them into words like, you can't get where you're going if you don't already know who you are, or, that'll be flipped where like you can't know who you are until you know like where you're going. So just all these different ways of sort of framing that question of how do we know who we are as ourselves. And then I just highlighted like so many cute little moments that just made me giggle a little bit. So here's the little alien talking to his friend the tree and says, "Did you get a haircut?" Because in the beginning of the book, the tree is covered in leaves. And as the book progresses, now the tree has lost its leaves. And the alien doesn't know what that's about. So, did you get a haircut? So there's lots of just cute little moments like that. So here's one. The tree has made some friends, and a turtle says, "If a tree falls in love with the forest, but it doesn't make a sound, will the forest ever hear it?" Which I thought was really sweet and again poignant. So I just have a couple more that I was going to show. Okay, so another recurring character is the little egg, and a frog and a butterfly. But the egg has been one of the main characters that the alien is sort of asking about what it means sort of to be alive and to know yourself. And so this is towards the end of the book, and the egg says, "I was so worried about what I would become in the future that I didn't realize I can be anything I want to be right now," which is a great moment of self-actualization for the egg. Okay, here's more musing about trees falling in the forest. "If a tree falls in a forest and nobody hears it, perhaps the tree wanted to fall simply to fall and not to show itself falling." Like, hello, that's awesome. And then this sweet little moment: "The harder it is to say goodbye to somebody, the luckier you are to have met somebody you're going to miss." And then there's one more that I'd sort of marked, but I guess I don't know, it's a little spoilery. So, okay, skip ahead a few seconds. I'll put a timestamp or something. But anyway, at the end of the book, the little alien is going home with his alien friends who come to pick him up. And the alien friends are saying like, "You're so weird. Like, look at you. You're having a feeling. You're quiet. What are you thinking about?" And our little alien friend says, "I'm just being happy that I get to feel sad," because the alien is sad to be leaving Earth. So this book is just, full of those sweet little poignant moments. And there is just this very loose overarching plot of this alien just exploring the Earth. There's a couple funny things like how the alien reacts to snow is pretty funny. But yeah, overall just very sweet, poignant, And I read this in like an hour. I mean, it's just cute little comics. I'm not entirely sure what the author was going for with the deliberate way of misspelling things. To me, it comes across as a little bit cute and infantilizing, which I'm not opposed to, but it also felt like, to me, if the author was going to do this, so I hope you can see this on the cover, but like the word alien, there's a B inserted in there in front of the word N. And the words you and your are repeatedly just the letter U and the letters you are throughout the book. So that's just the sort of thing where it doesn't really bother me that much. It's all very readable, but I didn't get why. And I sort of feel like if you're going to write your entire book in something that's breaking a very standard convention, that maybe, I don't know, maybe there should be a reason that's immediately obvious to your average reader. And I assume I'm just sort of an average reader of this. So I'm not really sure. So if you've read this book, please let me know what you think, especially if you have any comments on the spelling. Yeah, because I'd really be curious to hear if that meant more to other readers than it did to me. Okay, and with that, I will sign off. And this book was excellent, so I do recommend it, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks. Bye.